Change will not come unless it comes from us. Leaders won't move unless we move them. I want a better tomorrow, and I know I'm gonna have to fight for it. I'm willing and ready to put the work in. I deserve it. We deserve it.
I graduated from UTEP and have a master's in Latin American and Border Studies, so I had been in spaces where we talked a lot about oppressive systems and policy and how to address them, but I had never been in a room full of people who wanted to do something about it right here, right now. Amanecer People's Project is a power-building community organization. We were born out of our work from Proposition K. We decided to establish our organization, Amanecer People's Project, to open up our membership to all El Pasoans who are interested in fighting for clean air, clean water, and community power, and bring them into the space so we can together advocate for the El Paso that we know that we deserve.
Everybody has kind of a different experience and a different definition of climate injustice and climate hope. One of the climate injustices could be how close certain elementary schools, and particularly those who are part of lower income neighborhoods and communities, how close they are to the major highways and roads, right? And that's not necessarily something that you see in the suburbans out in like Upper West. Even though everywhere is impacted by the pollutant, everywhere is impacted by pollution, it spreads everywhere.
Welcome to Amanecer Tours. I hope you enjoy our tour today. As you can see in your itinerary, we're going to try to jam-pack as many polluting sites as we could. The reason that we are in such a tight timeline is because there are so many polluting sites in this beautiful city.
So out there in the community where I live, I've lived out there for about 30 years out in Montana Vista. So I live in a blended community where you can have a power plant next to a school or next to a neighborhood or next to a grocery store. So my community is that type of community. It's a blended community with no regulation as far as who can build next to your house. And so I think the theme this morning will be environmental injustice.
We're using Sharon Wilson's camera, Sharon from Oilfield Witness, her camera, to detect otherwise invisible pollutants and volatile organic compounds. Some of these volatile organic compounds that we're seeing are carcinogenic, so benzene, toluene. These are unsafe at any amount, right? So on windy days, this pollution can travel miles that way towards northeast El Paso or this way towards Chaparral, New Mexico.
We really need to get to know our neighbors. We need to get to understand the needs of others so that we can, as a community, help each other. We were doing a listening campaign to where we were just knocking on doors and asking people what were their concerns about their neighborhoods and what they would like to change, and then just bring those concerns back and you know, try to motivate people to hopefully do something about it, and giving them some hope that we can unite and maybe change the status quo.
I have something to fight for, and it's the community around me. It's my siblings, it's my friends, it's my parents, it's my neighbor, it's everybody. I want to fight for everybody. I believe that everybody deserves clean air, clean water, and a just democratic system that works for us.
My hope is that people have hope about this and don't automatically think that, well, this is it. There's nothing more we can do. which is the response that we get a lot at the doors. That, look, I'm sorry, but there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to accept that. And I'm like, no, accept that we're not gonna have clean air or clean water, like accept a future where we can't breathe. Like, no, I'm not gonna accept that. So that's definitely my hope, that people just have hope and know that we can make change.
Our meetings are monthly, but even if folks can't attend our monthly membership meetings, I think it's super important for all of us to be talking to each other. About the things that we want to see different, the problems that we identify, why we think those problems exist, and what we can do about them.
We wanted to throw this art exhibit called La Esperanza Climática.
Like 2 months ago, we had just come up with this idea. We're like, what if we acknowledge climate injustice through like the arts and through music and poetry? What if we have an event like that? And we brought it up to like the executive members, and this was before we were even like super present in the organization. And they were like, do it. And so we led that event, and it was a success. It was at Old Sheepdog Brewery, and oh my gosh, we had a room full of art, people that had created art specifically to address climate injustice. It was huge. And then after that, I looked at my friend and we were like, we did that. How did we do that?
There's a lot of things that motivate me, but I think the thing that's motivating me the most in this last year has been seeing our members grow and have like an aha moment of I'm in the right place, or finding like their passions, or finding a space to be themselves. And through being in this organization, work through that anger, work through that isolation, fight that isolation, make connections with others, and now become like the most beautiful leaders.
I always tell everybody I'm proud of my kids because I was the oldest one in the group at the time, and they just embraced me, and I love all of them. But they've grown so much professionally, personally. It's been very rewarding for me to see their growth.
I'm here so my son can have a future he enjoys. He deserves it. We all deserve it. We all deserve to enjoy the summers and winters without there being once-in-a-lifetime climate events all the time. We all deserve clean air and access to the mountains and the ditches. I've never been to the redwoods in California. I want the right to see them. I want my son to see them. I want him to grow up and be able to enjoy the mountains. In the end, I'm here so that my son can have a future he can enjoy, so he can see beautiful nature his whole life, so he can enjoy the redwoods and he can enjoy the mountains. Thank you.